grasshopper or something. Kitty, come kill this thing. Monday. Oh, okay. So I put some in there. What's up, guys? My name is Natalie, and welcome to my Nook of Novels. In today's video, I am going to be letting the weather app decide what I read for the next week. So this is a very, very exciting video. I have been really looking forward to this since I came up with it about a month ago. And so, no kitty, this happens every single time. I've been looking forward to this video for a very long time, and I've just really been wanting to do this. And so I actually originally went to film this last week, and I was like genuinely trying to read as much as I could for most of the week to fulfill everything that I was trying to do within this challenge. And I just did so poorly last week that I decided to start over because I just barely read anything. I was keeping track of how many pages behind I was, and when I was going into Thursday, I was like 150 pages behind, and there was just no way that I was going to be able to manage like anything successful from this video. So I decided to just start over and post a different video for this Thursday. That one is going to be my doing a push-up for every page I read for a day. That will be going up this Thursday, and I will also be filming that alongside this today. I don't know if y'all can see what's going on behind me right now. Kitty's having a field day with the dream catcher. Oh, okay. So basically, I was just at the point of no return. There was no way I was ever going to catch up. And so I decided to switch some things around in my filming schedule so that I could go ahead and try this challenge again, because I was just so excited. Like, I really wanted to put my full effort into this challenge, and I did. Like, I did try as hard as I could, but there was just like a number of things that came up last week that just made it almost impossible to actually get anything done. And so what I'm going to be posting this Thursday instead is my doing one push-up for every page I read for a day challenge. And so that is also what I'm going to be filming today. So today is going to be a really big filming and reading day. So just reading as much as I can and like updating you guys on that. So I will be updating both this vlog and the other one, but I'll try to keep them like separate enough to where like it's not going to be repetitive or anything. Honestly, that other one is going to be my main focus for the day, but then obviously I still have the rest of the week to kind of do as much as I can with this. And also everything I read today counts for both of these vlogs. So that should be a pretty good setup. And I'm just so excited to try this again and see if I can actually manage to even almost complete everything. In terms of how many days I'm going to be doing this, the weather app is going to be picking my pages for Monday through Thursday. But then I also have Friday morning that I'm not working. So I do have an appointment though, which is why I'm not working Friday morning. But other than that, I don't have anything else like planned for Friday. So I might use that as like a catch-up day if I don't end up like having a ton of other stuff I have to do that morning, so that I have some sort of like backup plan if I fall behind, because I do really want to get as much done as I possibly can with this. I'll go ahead and explain, I guess, how this is going to be working. I have it all written down in my notebook here. Whenever I originally first came up with these prompts, I had looked at the weather app it was like the Friday before the week I was originally going to start this, and it said that it was basically going to be raining for the rest of time, and then I was never going to see the sun again. And so that's kind of how I made these prompts. And so I was going to like arrange them a little bit depending on what the weather was supposed to be for this week. But when I looked again this last Friday, it was still the same. It still said that it was supposed to be very, very rainy in the coming days. So that being said, I just left the prompts as they were, and we're just going to hope and pray that things go well for us this week. So every single day, I'm going to be looking at the number of degrees for the day, right? So there's a low and a high. I am going to try to aim for the high. That is how many pages I have to read for the day. And then also the weather symbol. So whether it says it's going to be sunny, rainy, cloudy, partly cloudy, storming, snowing in the middle of August, perchance, any of those that come up will also affect the content of my reading, or it's going to make me have to add pages. So I'll just go through what each of them means. So if it just says that it's raining, raining, then I will have to read outside for 1 hour today, or whichever day that it is. So we have a covered porch area, so I could sit on there and read. I could sit in my car, anywhere that could constitute as outside without obviously being like in the rain with my book, because that's not a great combo. If it says it's going to be sunny for the day, I'm going to have to add 100 pages to the reading goal, because obviously, like I said, when I looked before, it said that it was not supposed to be sunny at all. If there is lightning, so if it's like a stormy symbol and not just rain, if there's lightning as well, I get to buy myself a coffee. If it's cloudy, I have to add 20 pages, and if it's partly cloudy, I have to add 50 pages. So that's how I'm going to be kind of doing this challenge this week. Those are going to be the prompts for every single day. Each day this week, I'm going to open up the app and look in the morning. So I might look now and it might say something different than it says when I look tomorrow or Wednesday or whatever, but I'm going to be going based on what it says first thing in the morning when I open my phone and look. So right now it's 7:37 a.m. and I'm going to go ahead and not open TikTok. I don't know why I did that. Open up the weather app and see what the day looks like. Okay, so it says that it is supposed to be rainy today. There's a 40% chance of rain, and the high is 87. So that means that I have to read 87 pages today, and I will have to read outside for 1 hour. So in terms of like other things I need to do today, I really just need to like generally clean up my space, because it's kind of messy like in my room and also in the living room out there. So I need to like organize a little bit so that things look nice to film in today. And then I need to run to the store and just grab a couple things. I'll probably also grab some oil for my car. But other than that, I don't really have anything specific. So I'm just going to be reading all day long. So yeah, I'm so excited about this. I can't wait. So with that being said, I am going to go and film some stuff for my other vlog, clean up a little bit, probably make some coffee as well. But I will update you guys in a little bit when I have started reading. Hey y'all, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update from my reading yesterday. So I've just been so long sitting here confusing myself, thinking I did math wrong and did not read as many pages as I originally thought, but I did. In fact, I read 85 pages yesterday, but that 85 is actually technically 93 because, so the video I was doing yesterday, like I said, was like the one push-up for every page I read, but I was going based off of chapters for that. So every time I would finish a chapter, I would look at how many pages was in it, but that's not including the few pages where like we switched perspectives and then we had a whole 3 pages that's just like Charlotte and then blank pages around that. So that technically did add a few pages. I'm not going to count those unless I end up being behind towards the end of this week. Then I will go back and add those on there and see if that helps me out at all. But as of right now, I'm just going to say that I read the 87 pages. Technically, it would be 85 if I don't include those, but I'm just gonna say that I met my goal yesterday and then like stopped there, and that's what I read. Yesterday was so much fun doing like push-ups and reading both of those, because this vlog made me like be encouraged to constantly keep reading, but then obviously for that one I still had to do the push-ups for all the pages, so it was like a challenge. It was definitely difficult, but I also had the motivation to like want to keep reading even though it was definitely difficult. But I feel like I made so much progress in this book. I read about 70 pages of this, and then I also read 22 pages of Saga Volume 9. Me and my boyfriend finished that one up. So now we're on Saga Volume 10, which is very fun and exciting. And I finally feel like I'm nearing the end of this book. I feel like I've been reading this for so long, not in a bad way, because again, like I've been really enjoying this, and it's just honestly such a vibe every time I get into this book. It's just so fun and exciting. So some of the scenes that I read yesterday were like particularly fun because there was a lot of like ballroom dance kind of scenes, and I love a good dancing scene in a romance book, but I also love it when it's like a ball kind of aesthetic as well, kind of masquerade ball kind of vibes, but it wasn't like masks or anything. It was just straight up basically princess ball. It was so much fun. The kind of 1800s like society gossipy kind of stuff is definitely really fun in this as well. How I described it to my other vlog was like, this kind of feels like a classic, but if I really liked classics instead of hated them. So I don't know if that makes sense to any of you guys, but if you like classics, I feel like you would like this. But I just like it anyway, just because I think it's really good and it's pretty. It's written very like poetic and lyrical and stuff. I feel like these are buzzwords that I've used over and over again, so I'm gonna stop saying them now, but basically I'm just having a really good time with this book. So I'm gonna go ahead ahead and open up the weather app and see what my reading looks like for today. It's 1:38 right now, so I'm definitely getting a late start. I woke up at 11 and then just did some things to kind of get ready for the day and stuff before filming this. So it's getting time to like lock in and actually read now. I also need to edit today. I need to start editing my video from yesterday, that vlog that I was working on. And then I also need to go to the store later today as well. So, ooh, okay. This is good news. I keep forgetting, like all of last week, I forgot about the fact that I was supposed to read outside for an hour. And I forgot about that for yesterday as well, but that's okay. So today is another read outside for an hour day because it is raining, but it also says that it's going to be stormy. So there's a lightning symbol, which means that I get to buy myself a coffee today, which is so fun and exciting. And then my number of pages that I need to read for today is 86 because that is the high. So super fun and exciting. I was able to make the page count yesterday, so I feel like I can definitely do it again today. It wasn't too hard, especially like having little spurts of just like sitting down and reading for a long time. It was pretty manageable. So I will be reading very soon. So I will give you guys an update in a little bit.
You say slow down. I don't like to move too fast. It drowns the truth with things that are not real, and I really want us to be real with love that lasts. In the past I messed up, gave too much. What is it with time? Why can't we and all the hurt we deal with, I wanna leave my cares behind. And now that time has passed, I see why we are lonely.
Hey y'all, so I just wanted to give you guys an update on the things I read today. So in the time lapse that you guys saw earlier today, I read quite a bit of Burial Bones in the Midnight Soil. Well, I say quite a bit. I read like a chunk of it. It wasn't anything like absurd. I read 20 pages. So I made another dent in that. So now I am on page 407, which being in the 400s of a book just makes me feel so accomplished and like I've done a lot of reading so far, so that is very good news. And then I got to page 64 for the day because I also read the first chapter of Saga Volume 10 to Venus. The first chapter was very long. It was 44 pages, so I'm so glad I didn't do that during my video yesterday where I was doing push-ups, because had I had to do 44 push-ups all at once, I would have genuinely, like, my arms would have fallen off and I would have literally had to go the rest of the vlog with no arms, and that would have been so difficult. Thank goodness I did not have to do all that. It's starting off strong. It's a very different vibe for sure to the rest of what the series has been so far. There's been some time jumps between the other Saga books, but this one was like a big time jump, or at least it felt very big. Like they're in a new setting, there's new characters, a lot has changed. So it's definitely feeling like new territory for sure. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm having a good time with that one. But in terms of like things I did today, like I said, I read the chunk of Burial Bones in the Midnight Soil, and then after that I went to the grocery store and then I came back. That's pretty much been like my whole day so far. I didn't edit a ton of this video. It's my push-up video from yesterday. I got through the first around 10 minutes or so. The way that I always calculate how many minutes in I am, how many minutes it took off the end of the video, plus however many minutes it says I am at the mark I'm at, if that makes sense. Because obviously when you're taking out chunks of the video as you go, it might say that it's an hour long, and then now once you've edited some of it, you're at 5 minutes. But if you took out 10 minutes off the end as well, then you're a quarter of the way done, which sounds like a lot more progress than being 5 minutes into an hour-long video, right? So I always do that to make myself feel better about how far into the video I am, because it's usually like more accurate as well. So anyway, I would have kept going, but honestly, like I was just getting tired. I was getting a little bit bored of sitting here editing. I think the fact that it's late at night and I'm sleepy is just making it harder to push through and want to continue editing. So I decided to stop at where I was. I got the first 2 clips done. I'm gonna save the rest for tomorrow. And I think I'm gonna get ready for bed now. It is 10:26 p.m. and in my brain this whole time I've kind of been like, as long as I'm in bed around midnight, it's fine. But then that kind of shifted into, okay, I'll quit editing and go to bed at 11, and then I'll try to get as many more pages read as I can to make it to my goal for today, and then fall asleep. But I think now I'm just gonna go ahead and get ready for bed and fall asleep whenever. I'm still gonna obviously try to read those pages before I go to sleep, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna get there. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick up Magnolia Parks because I need to have the next 100 pages read by Thursday, and I haven't like started that next chunk of this book yet. But this one is also faster, so I get through this one a lot quicker. Like if I'm sitting for the same amount of time, I'll read more pages of this than I will Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil. So I feel like that's a really good like before bed option. What I still have, I have 22 pages left of my daily reading before I make it to my goal, and I still haven't read an hour outside yet. I just keep like blanking on that one and forgetting that I'm supposed to do that. But I might try to start with that one early tomorrow morning, because the other day I got up early and read outside, and it was such a vibe. It was so like aesthetically pleasing and nice and like calming and relaxing. So I definitely want to try that in the morning. So hopefully I can try to wake up when Venus does for work and then head outside and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and go get ready for bed, and so I guess I'll just let you guys know in the morning like how much of this I read, and you'll find out then as well if I'm awake early enough in the morning to do much. So yeah, tomorrow I'm also going to my boyfriend's parents' house to paint. I'm not planning on being over there for super long just because this vlog is really my main priority this week, and I also have a lot of editing to get done. So I want to at least get through most of this vlog that I'm editing. I really don't want to leave myself with more than a couple minutes to edit Thursday morning, just because then I always end up just editing all day and getting the video up late, and then I don't go to poker Thursday night, so it just becomes this whole thing. So I would much rather get as much of that done as I can tomorrow while I still can, and then worry about reading more towards the latter half of the week. That's pretty much everything I have to say for right now. But again, I will talk to you guys in the morning. Hey y'all, so I pretty much just rolled out of bed, so please ignore the fact that I probably look and sound like I just rolled out of bed. It's 9:49 in the morning, and my boyfriend got up for work, but I like never woke up when he did. So I woke up first around 6, and I was like, okay, like maybe I'll get up, and then I fell back asleep. I woke back up around 8, and I was like, okay, now I'm gonna get up, but I kept falling back asleep. But now here I am, I'm awake. I've finally climbed out of bed, and it's raining outside right now, and I thought this would be a wonderful time to go ahead and try to make up some of that time that I've been supposed to read outside. I also have a lot of editing to do today, so I think for now, like what I'm gonna do is mostly read, and then like after I get back home later after painting I may edit then. But honestly, I don't want to like stress myself out by leaving the whole video until the end of the day, so I might just try to go back and forth between them. But it is like raining right now, and I do want to take advantage of like the outside vibes, so I'm just gonna read for right now, and then maybe like after I've read like a couple chapters or something, I'll switch to doing both. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and look at the weather app for the day and kind of see what we're looking at. It says heavy rain forecasted in the next hour, which is exciting. And yes, it's a very much stormy logo, which I was definitely very much expecting, so not surprised there because it is stormy outside. And it has a lightning emoji, which means I can buy myself a coffee. I never bought myself one yesterday, so I'm not gonna go out and try to spend all my money on coffee this week. I'm just gonna keep that in the back of my brain as like an option, although coffee does sound really nice right now, so I might go ahead and use that one. But that means that we are now at 3 hours that I need to sit outside and read. The high for today is 84, so I think my boyfriend just got home. Yeah, he definitely did. I can hear his car. 84 pages, not nearly as bad. Last night, I read 11 more pages. So I got to page 75 out of the 86 I was supposed to get to. But if I go back and claim those extra pages from the day before that I technically read, that I never really counted, that was an extra 6 pages, which puts me at, if I count that for yesterday, that puts me at 81 pages, which puts me only 5 pages behind, which is not nearly as bad. It still would have been like 11 the other way, but I'm trying to keep it as little as I can just to make things easier for myself as I'm going forward, because you know, the further you fall behind, you keep falling more and more behind as well. So just for the sake of my sanity as the week progresses, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I'm only 5 behind for right now. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and start reading for the day. The 11 pages I read last night were of Magnolia Parks, and that's what I'm gonna continue to read throughout today and tomorrow, just to make sure that I get to the page mark that I need to get to for that. So there also might be some Saga Volume 10 reading in the next couple of days. I'm gonna go ahead and go read. So I will talk to you guys in a bit.
Should've let me speed it up. You could've had more of me. Oh, and now that time has passed, I see why we were lonely. Oh, should've let me speed it up. You could've had more of me.
Hey y'all, so I thought I would go for some change of scenery and sit in this chair that I never sit in to film this update, because I feel like I've just been living on our couch for the past couple of vlogs, and I just like want to move somewhere else because I don't want it to be a boring, I'm literally in the same place kind of vlog. So we're moving around a little bit, we're branching out into the world. But I want to update you guys on what I read yesterday, which was not very much at all. In terms of page count, I got to page 49 out of, I want to say it was 84 that I was supposed to read yesterday. Yeah, out of 84. So let me do the math real quick and see how far behind that puts me. So that puts me 35 behind from yesterday, plus the 5 behind that I already was. So that puts me 40 pages behind, which isn't the end of the world. I mean, going into last week, on Thursday, I was like over 100 pages behind. So we're definitely doing better than we could be, for sure. But all that I read yesterday was in the morning when I sat and read 2 chapters of this to Venus before, or I guess it was after, I don't know when it was. We sat on the porch and we read some of this. And then I went over to his parents' house to go do some painting, and I came back and I edited for most of the day. I edited a little bit before I left too. That was most of my day, was just focused on getting through that video. I still have a little bit left of it. Nothing crazy though. So the thing is, like, it's a shorter video, not like crazy short. Kitty, do you have to make so much ruckus? But it's only like 20 minutes as opposed to the last video I posted, I think was like 52 minutes or something like that, which just makes the editing process so much faster when the video is shorter, because when I'm going and watching back through it, like I have to spend 52 minutes sitting and just watching the video back multiple times. So it can take so many hours with a longer video, whereas again, like shorter makes it a lot faster. This shouldn't be one I even have to watch back too many times. I think like twice should do the job, but I just have to go back and I have to find my clips to put at the beginning of the video. I have to add audio and all the time lapses, and that's pretty much all I have left on that. It's pretty much ready to go aside from that. And then I need to make my thumbnail. So I already have the thumbnail itself, but I have to go in and like add the words to it and make it look nice and everything. So that shouldn't take more than like maybe 2 hours tops. I wouldn't even think it should take that long. I would think like probably an hour would be my guesstimate on that, but I don't want to say for sure, because I feel like when I guesstimate how long it's going to take to do something, it takes like twice as long. So I'm just going to say like it could take 2 hours, but I'm hoping it doesn't. It's currently 5:52 in the morning, and I feel like the cat is being so loud right now. It might just be because it's a very like quiet, like 5 o'clock in the morning kind of vibe, and she's over there just like eating her food, and it just feels really loud because it's 5 o'clock in the morning and everything is quiet. But I digress. I feel pretty awake right now, and I don't know if that's gonna last, but I have been drinking Celsius as well, so hopefully that helps me stay alive today in the morning. I went to bed somewhat early last night. It was around like 10. I don't know if I actually fell asleep at 10 or if it was closer to 11, but the point is I've gotten enough sleep that I'm hoping I can just stay awake for quite a while. If I do take a nap, I'm hoping it'll only be like an hour or so. So I'm just gonna really try to like power through this morning and read for as many hours as I can. Obviously getting my video up too, I guess, is like more of my main priority, but like reading is like really a big goal for me today. So I pretty much have the next 12 hours or so to do that at my will, at my leisure. I really do want to go to poker tonight at 7, but I usually leave at like 6:15, 6:20, whatever. I haven't been going for the last couple weeks just because every time it gets to Thursday, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy, I'm so behind. Like I have to keep doing things and making progress, but I just haven't been going and I really want to go. So I'm going to do that. I also really need to get car oil today so that my boyfriend can change that within the next couple days, because it's been running on zero for like, not zero oil. I'm not driving my car no oil, but the oil life has been at 0%, meaning like it's been time to change it for like the past week or so. Other than that, like I'm feeling good. I feel like whenever I wake up really early, just feel like I have such a nice start to the day and I can really do the most with my time. So hopefully that happens today and I don't say that and then accidentally just sleep the day away or whatever. I also have just started watching the announcement for the fall semester of the, I forget what it's called, Beryllium or something, the autumn equinox round of G from Book Roast's magical readathon that she hosts twice a year. And I was thinking like maybe I should do that. I feel like, first of all, whenever I do specific readathons, I feel like my TBR videos get more views because I'm adding that tag in the description and in the tags like section. Whenever you go to post a video, you type in the tags or things that like when people search for those things, like you want your video to pop up. So I like put it there, I put it in the title of the video and everything like that. So I feel like more people find my TBR videos when I do readathons. So I feel like I probably should. And also like I just haven't really done a readathon in a really long time. The only thing is like it makes it kind of difficult because of like some of the secret videos I'm working on. Well, there's really one in particular. Really, that's the main one I am working on. When I say secret video, there is one that I actively have been working on for a couple months. And then there's going to be like more obviously as we go, because I now have all my videos planned out through September. But regardless, I might try to do that. Also just to like have some more fun. I miss doing the magical readathon because I used to do them all the time when they were still Harry Potter themed. And I just thought that was so much fun. I just kind of want to get back into it. I kind of want to give myself a little bit of like a brain break, if you will. Also, me and my boyfriend are going to start a new book. And so I was trying to convince him last night because we've been reading Unravel Me for such a long time. It's just really not motivating me to want to read to him. And I feel like if we read another book alongside it and went back and forth between them, then I would just have so much more motivation and like want to actually read to him like while we're driving somewhere or just like while we have like an opportunity, because as it is right now, we only really read Saga. And that's obviously when we're like sitting together and both looking at it because it's a graphic novel. But if he's driving me somewhere, then like I don't really read to him, which is usually where we get most of our reading done. So I wanted to start a second book to kind of bring myself out of the reading to him slump that I feel like I'm kind of in. So I was like, okay, does this sound good? Does this sound good? We could read this or this or this. And he was just like not sold on anything except, so he said that Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson sounded good. And I was like, okay, I do really want to read that to him. I was just like, I don't know if right now is the time to read that because obviously that's a big universe to get into. And it's not even so much, oh, I don't want to start a series, because I don't really care what I start when I'm reading to him, because obviously it's just like we're gonna get through it eventually. But Mistborn just sounded intimidating to me when I was trying to come up with something, because I guess the biggest thing was just I wanted something that I felt like I could really speed through, because that's really the criteria for like getting out of a reading slump. Something that's like fast paced, like the writing is like really quick, easy to consume. And I just feel like Mistborn was like not really the power move there. But I was like, okay, we could, you know, like if there's nothing else. But he also was kind of interested in Red Rising, which I don't know if that was just because I was like hyping him up about it. I was like, okay, but Red Rising though. There was that one. But then the one that he was really sold on was Dungeon Crawler Carl, which I haven't ever heard of except for, I want to say a few weeks ago I was watching a Sid the Bookworm reading vlog where she read that. And I don't remember if she liked it or not, but I remember being like, oh, I've never heard of that book before. Like obviously it has a very interesting title that stuck in my brain. I feel like I remember her being slightly disappointed by it, expecting to love it, but she only gave it like 4 stars or something. I don't remember. It was like, I feel like there was some level of like she was hoping it would be a little bit better, but low key though, I feel like as long as it's at least somewhat interesting, that'll be okay with me. I read the description and it sounded fun and entertaining, so I'm excited about that one. I looked at the library. It said there was, I want to say 26 people on the wait list, and so then Venus was like, okay, so how much is it if I just buy it? But we'll see. I'm not really sure how fast the wait list is going to move through, because I want to say it said there was like 11 copies of the book or something, so it shouldn't take a terribly long time. I'm going to actually go ahead and look and see if I'm still 26 in line. I would assume so. Oh, it says I'm 27th. Okay, I don't know how that happened. There was a lot of copies, so oh my gosh, there's like a grasshopper or something. Good God. Kitty, come kill this thing, please. Where are you? Where is the cat when you need her? You've got dinner sitting right over here. She's taking care of it. Thank goodness. But it's definitely one of the perks of having a little beast roaming around your house is that it will just kill all the bugs for you and you don't have to worry about it. And so, wonderful news. She just did the thing that she did the other day where she was just like randomly really scared. And I was like, okay, so did you see a monster outside? Like, why are you doing this? No, I'm scared because my boyfriend left for work already. And I'm like, who's gonna protect me? Like, the cat, she's this big. So hopefully there's not a literal, like, lion outside the house or something. I don't know if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, I saw a bear outside our house. Literally, like, a bear. That was so strange. I don't even live in BFE, right? Like, I don't live in the boondocks. I'm not way in the holler or whatever. I was like, wow, okay, so bear question mark? I completely lost my train of thought though. We're gonna start Dungeon Crawler Carl soon, so that'll be exciting. But as of right now, I was gonna go sit on the porch and read for a little bit because I do still need to read all my hours outside. But I think I might be a little afraid to do that. I think I might wait until the sun is at least starting to come up before I do that, which is confusing because I feel like a couple days ago the sun was like coming up by now for sure, and daylight savings hasn't happened yet, so I don't really know what that's about. But it says the sun is supposed to rise at 6:53 and it's 6:06 right now, so like here in a bit it will. But oh my gosh, okay, I just saw the thing for today, so it still has like the moon emoji on it, which I think is funny because the sun's not up yet. But today's reading, so the good news is we don't have to add another hour to the outside reading, which is good, but we will have to add some pages to the count today. So it is 86 degrees. I need to go grab my notebook because I actually don't remember how many pages I have to add for this, so I'll be right back. It has the cloud emoji, meaning it is cloudy, which is at 20 pages. So that means that today's page count is going to be 106 plus, how many behind was I? 40. So that puts me at having to read 146 pages today, which is quite a lot. Not unbearable, I wouldn't say, especially if I utilize like the rest of this, but I think by the time that my boyfriend gets home tonight, I think I'll already be gone to poker. So I don't really know if we're going to even get a chance to read this, but I do definitely have a lot of Magnolia Parks that I need to get through to get to my 200 page mark for the day for my book club, so I could use that to my advantage for sure. Yikes. I'll also have tomorrow as like a catch-up day, and if I don't catch up by tomorrow, I can always read a little bit more Monday and like at least try to fulfill all the pages before ending this vlog, if nothing else, even if I can't complete it by the end of today. But honestly, like, I'm up for the challenge. I'm ready. Bring it on. I can handle this today. I've got this. So that's very fun and exciting. I also need to clean today. I don't know if I mentioned that already or not, but I've been meaning to like clean the cat's litter and like do some dishes and wipe some things down. So I'm definitely gonna do like a full round of cleaning today, if nothing else. There was one other thing that I was gonna say. Oh, I also last night went ahead and planned out my videos for the month of September. So I have my whole schedule out now through, I want to say, like, sort of October 2nd. It really just depends on if my wrap up goes well at the end of this month, because my wrap up videos have not been doing well at all, and so I don't want to keep making wrap ups if they're not really getting any views, because I don't really have a ton of fun making those. Like, they're not some of my favorite videos at all. I wouldn't say they're my least favorites, but I just don't enjoy them a ton. I feel like it's a very like basic booktube video kind of thing where it just makes sense to post it. So I don't know, if you guys aren't interested in seeing those though, I'm not going to keep making them, just because like I'd rather post videos that are more fun, that are like more creative, because I do have so many creative ideas that I have written down. Like, I have so many things planned out, and I would just rather spend the time making those instead of a boring wrap-up video. So if at the end of this month, if this one doesn't go well, then I'm just going to completely scrap them and stop doing them. But if this one does go well, then I'll probably keep making them. So that's why, like, sort of through October 2nd, if I'm going to do a wrap-up, it's going to be that day. But if not, then we'll go from there. And I'm excited for the videos I have coming up. So yeah, very, very fun things ahead. I still have to read my hours outside from the rest of the week. So I have 2 hours and 25 minutes left to read outside. I read for 35 minutes out there yesterday, so that went ahead and knocked off a little bit of that. So now we have 2.5 hours remaining. But anyway, I feel like I've been sitting here yapping for absolutely forever. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get to it. Either start working on my videos, start reading, start doing something to get my day going. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit.
You could have had more of me. And now the time.
Y'all, for like 15 seconds, I just convinced myself that there was like a forest fire or something because it's been like pretty foggy this morning. But I had heard like these little like crackling sounds, right? And so when I hear random sounds from the woods, I'm like, is there a bear? Is there something that's trying to kill me? And then I was like, oh, it almost sounds like a fire. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what if it's smoky and not foggy? And then I like went out into the driveway and I looked around and it was like, no, it's 100% just fog and I'm like losing my mind. But yeah, I just heard like random like snapping sounds and I was like, but it's just like a rabbit or something. So love that for me.
I see why we were lonely. Should've let me speed it up. You could've had more of
Hey y'all, so I came outside to read and I've only actually managed 4 pages since I've been sitting in the car. I was on the porch earlier and I read, I want to say like 13 pages or so. I just keep getting distracted out here. So first of all, my car was like making this like weird sound. There was like a squeaking sound. So I like turned it off, turned it on a couple times. I like opened the hood, was like listening around the engine. I didn't hear anything. But then I came to get back in the car and I realized I have 9 bug bites on my legs. But the whole time I was sitting on the porch, I did not get bitten one single time. And then I stepped out of my car for literally less than 2 minutes, like maybe a minute and a half, maybe. It was probably like 60 seconds. And I get bitten 9 times, which is just absolutely absurd. I don't know how this even happens to me. I'm not having a good time. So I might go back to the porch and like put on some bug spray, but I was honestly focusing so much better when I was like sitting on the porch than being out here. I don't know if it's just because of the bug bites or what, but like the vibes are just not very like sit and read. No, I just realized there's 10 bug bites. Far too many if you ask me. Or I could go and sit at the park, but that would also involve putting on bug spray, and I don't know if I feel like going anywhere right now because I'm still kind of tired. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning, I think. It's 9:04, so I don't really know. I think I might just go back to the porch for now. I've been trying my best to read and focus, but it could be going better for sure. But that's what I have for now. So yeah. So I did not really do that much reading so far today. This morning I read some outside. I read like 42 pages. Not all of that was outside though. After I went inside from being in the car, I just like stayed inside and I read, and then I fell asleep for a couple hours, and then I've really just been doing like little things for the rest of the day. I made a TikTok so that I could post my video for today, and then I did all the stuff to post that. That took a while, posting on all like my social medias and everything. It usually takes me around an hour. And then I did some stuff for my new job, which didn't take long at all. That was like maybe 10 minutes. I did some dishes. I changed out the cat litter. Our trash cans in our bathroom didn't have bags in them yet, so I put some in there. And then I want to say that's pretty much everything I did besides like eat. And then I did start reading again. And so I read outside for a little bit on the porch again, but it was just so hot outside and I could not handle it. And sitting in my car, it's like not as easy to focus when I'm just like at my house, or at least it wasn't earlier. It might just have been because of the bug bites. I don't really know, but I was just not having a great time with that. So I was going to either sit inside and read or like go to a park or something. I hadn't really decided, but then my boyfriend got off work early, so we are at a restaurant now where I play poker at. Poker doesn't start till 7, but it's about 6 now. It is 6:02, and so we are going to eat here before poker starts because I wanted to have dinner with him instead of like just passing by him and not getting to see him all day. So we're doing that, and then I also brought Saga Volume 10 in case he wants to read some of that while we're here. I decided I'm going to count the time that I've been driving and listening to my audiobook as reading outside time, just because otherwise there's there's just no way I'm gonna be able to do that, and it's just so much. Like, it's so hot outside, and reading outside is really fun and great. And if it was like 1 hour each day was what I actually did, it would have been at least somewhat manageable, but trying to do 3 hours, I just cannot. It's not gonna happen, so I'm counting this time. And as of right now, my stopwatch says 2 hours and 14 minutes, and if you add on the 35 minutes I did before, that puts us at 2 hours and 50 minutes. So really I just need 10 more minutes outside, and then I'm good for my outside reading time for the week, which is wonderful. I'm not including the audiobook in pages because I don't really know how many pages I read. It's an audiobook. I'm not tracking that too much, but I am including it towards the time. So I feel like letting myself get at least one of those, I feel like that's fine. I'm gonna either read if my boyfriend is still kind of far away, or I'm going to, I guess, see him in a minute when he gets here. But yeah, those are all the things for now. So yeah. Hey y'all, so sorry for this being the third car update in a row. I've just been out and about when I've been meaning to update y'all. But yesterday, so I ended up actually not going to poker or going to eat with my boyfriend because he was like having car issues, so he had to like stop, and I went and I picked up food on the way to go to him, and then we went to like a car parts place so he could get whatever to fix his car, and then we went back to it, and then we went home, and then I just went to bed after that. I would have had some time I could have read before bed, but so I realized I want to do the Aurelium like magical readathon this September. I was kind of like going through all of like the careers and figuring out which ones fit best with my TBR and what books I could use for what prompts and things like that. And I haven't narrowed down to 2 careers that I want to do, but I'm going to talk about all of that in my September TBR. I'm not going to like go into detail about any of that right now, but I was like doing all that last night, so I didn't really read any. So I went into yesterday being 40 pages behind, which meant that I had to read 146 pages yesterday. So I only read 62 pages, which puts me today at 84 pages behind. And so this is not another like weather app day. This is like my catch-up day or whatever. I'm also going to try to read as much as I can like throughout the weekend and on Monday to also catch up from this reading challenge, because I just don't have all the time in the world, and so I kind of already knew that I was going to end up being at least a little bit behind. So Monday is going to be my last day to officially like read pages towards this challenge, but I'm also doing reading sprints on Monday, so that should be really helpful if I don't end up reading a lot before then. But oh shoot, I just realized I only brought Magnolia Parks with me today. I didn't bring Barrier Bones and the Midnight Soil, so I'm on page 176. So if I make it to the 200 page mark, I guess I'll just keep reading this actually, because I was supposed to get to page 200 by yesterday and I didn't, so I will now need to get to page 300 by next Thursday. So I'll be reading this. I'm at a park right now, so I'm gonna sit in the grass in the shade on a blanket and read. I love doing that because it's just very aesthetically pleasing and fun. So yeah, that's really all I have to update y'all on right now, is that I'm about to read this. I have work in a little bit, so right now it's 2:15 and I'll have to leave here by like 3:15 or so. So I'll be here for about an hour, unless I just get too hot and want to leave before then I will. And I'll use the extra time to just sit in the car and read once I get to work before I go in. So those are the plans. I'll see how much I can get done in the next hour, and I will let you guys know later what I managed to accomplish. So yeah. Hey y'all, so it is now officially Monday, and Hey y'all, so it is now officially Monday. Hey y'all, so it is now officially Monday, and I made it to my page goal. And obviously, doesn't really count because it's like 3 days late or whatever, who's to say, but this was what I was thinking in my brain as like my final day to complete the challenge, and I did complete it today. So I feel at least accomplished for having read all the pages that I set out to read in this video. And I have made it now to page 292 of Magnolia Parks. I want to say it was at least a few chapters ago when I officially made it to that 84 page goal. Well, it wasn't 84 pages. It was starting on Thursday, it was 146 46. And then I think on Friday, I took away all of the things that I'd read since then, and it was down to 84, I want to say. At least that's what I'm pretty sure. So I read all the pages is the point. And I got to page 292 of this book. And I got to page 406 of Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. And then we also read the first half of Saga Volume 10, which was also included in this video. So I'm so excited too to like be nearing the end of this book, because I really feel like I've been reading this book for such a long time, and it is wonderful. Like, I'm having such a good time, but I also just want to move on to other things at some point in my life. So I really feel like this video allowed me to make the progress that I've been desperately needing to make in this book, and I've just been having such a great time with these two books. So excited to be wrapping up this video successfully. This was honestly so much fun, having the weather app decide things for me. If you guys have any similar ideas for weather related or just like other general like so-and-so picks my reading for a week, for a day, whatever it may be, please let me know like if there's anything else like this that you guys want to see, because challenge videos like this are just honestly one of the most fun videos to make, and I just have such a great time reading, like dropping everything and just reading for a vlog. So I hope you guys enjoyed all of this. I'll put a final page count on the screen right here of all the pages that I read, what I had to read for this whole video, like with all the degrees and everything, so you guys can see how many pages I read as a result of this challenge vlog. But yeah, I consider this a major success, and I also finished a book. I finished Saga Volume 9 during this as well, so very, very exciting. But that is going to be all for this vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button and subscribe if you would like to, and hit the notification bell if you would like to see the other videos that I post on Thursdays, with reading sprints on every first and third Monday of the month. My Bookstagram, my Goodreads, and my book talk will all be linked in the description of this video if you guys would like to check out any of those, as well as some of my most recent videos, including my doing a push-up for every page that I read for a day vlog, as well as my August Wheel of TBR. But yeah, thank you guys so much again for being here and watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!